Hey y'all, this is Tommy Prine. I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina, doing the back porch sessions at Garden and Gun headquarters. This first song is called Holding On to More. I wrote it after I'd already recorded my album, and it was a tough one to write, and I didn't really understand why at the time. And I think it's a song about realizing how much time has passed and trying to be grateful for where I am right now.
They say to treat yourself with kindness, like that's all I had to do. And did they ever see the kindness that I always had for you? So where's the road when I can't see it? And all the signs are broken down. And should I guess the curves and secrets, or buy a home outside of town? One is better than the other, and while the other still sounds nice, and give this letter to my mother, and all it says is you were right. I wish I wrote it all down in a journal I found, staining all the time that I lost. A dog lifting the pound isn't funny or profound. It's just the way that things turned out to be. I guess I'm holding on to more than a memory. God, I wish that I was stronger when I picked up the phone, 'cause now I miss when it took longer, when we would take the shortcut back home. But that's a long time away now, and there ain't much that I can do but listen to turtles all the way down, and I'll pretend that I'm with you. Well, there's a lesson when you need it. There's always more when you don't. So where's the road when I can't see it? And will it take me back home? I wish I wrote it all down in a journal I found, staining all the time that I lost. A dog lifting the pound isn't funny or profound. It's just the way that things turned out to be. I guess I'm holding on to more than a memory. I guess I'm holding on to more than a memory.
I am born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. Obviously, my family is pretty intertwined in music. My parents were the type of parents where they were very encouraging in things that me and my brothers showed interest in, but they never pushed us to do one thing over another. There was just guitars laying around the house, and obviously music always playing. So just if one of us picked up a guitar, then they would nurture that if we liked it, and that's what they did. And it gave me the opportunity to create my own connection with music, I feel like. And I've been writing songs for a while. Started when I was a teenager, but it was pretty precious to me, so I didn't show anybody. I definitely didn't show my parents my songs for a long time, you know. But as far as music as a career, I think I spent several years pretty lost, just making wrong decisions, hanging out with the wrong people, the classic kind of thing, you know. And when my dad passed, it just kind of felt like the world just kind of crumbled in around me, and the only thing that was there for me was my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, and my family and music. And writing was a very therapeutic thing for me. And you know, I started hanging out with my buddy Rustin Kelly, who's an amazing artist, and Gina Johnson, who's an incredible producer and engineer, and they kind of, you know, pushed me along the road to become an artist. And it's kind of crazy looking back over the last couple years how everything happened so fast, but I've never felt more like myself than I ever have before doing this. So that's how I know it's right. So this next one is called Gandalf. I when I was growing up, I wasn't super into sports like my brothers and a lot of my friends. I really liked Lord of the Rings, and I've always wanted to write a song about something with the Lord of the Rings. And I guess I've always liked Gandalf the most. He always seemed so wise and like the type of like old man that I want to be one day. You know, I want to be like the wise man that knows everything and is calm in all situations. And this song is kind of more, I guess, of a journalistic kind of confessional sort of thing about the years that I spent being really lost and the way that I made my way out. So it's called Gandalf.
I'm talking to my baby in the bed. She said it's late. The ring that's on her finger reflects light across her face. It makes me feel like floating on a rock in outer space. It's everything I wanted. And somewhere in my 20s I put down all the drugs. Started looking at my life and found it's better than it was. A ghost could find a home in any man on that stuff. No wonder I was haunted. So don't feel bad for me. I'll find myself eventually. So when I cleaned my act up, I scored other things like memories and trilogies like Lord of the Rings. It took my mind off sad shit like all that time will bring, and it got so exhausting. And it's kinda like when Gandalf came back wearing all white and told that crazy story how he made it through the night. If he can do it, anyone can see the other side. But you gotta really want it. So don't feel bad for me. I'll find myself eventually. So don't feel bad for me. I'll find myself eventually.
Thank you. I don't know. I usually write at home. I always hear people like, yeah, I wrote this in the green room. Like I wrote this on the bus. Like I wrote this on, whatever. But I've written pretty much every song ever wherever I've like been living. So I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like more grounded and kind of open. I have my pets and my wife with me and all my snacks in my kitchen. So I guess I'm just more comfortable, and that's when it all works, I guess. I kind of have to describe all of them now because they all kind of are of the same thing. But this one right here is an ogam, and it is ancient Celtic scripture, like before the alphabet in Ireland. They had ogams. That was how they would, write out, I guess, their words. And this long line at the top is a G. These 5 right here are an R, and then these 2 at the bottom are an A. And that is gra in Gaelic, which means love. And my mom is born and raised in Ireland, so I got that from my mom's side. And when my dad's mom was passing away, I was like 7. She said if I ever see a cardinal or a blue jay, it's her looking after me. So I see them all the time, like a weird amount. Like there's actually cardinals and blue jays that just live in my backyard in Nashville. I'm not joking. It's very wild. And I got that from my dad's side. And then this is Mount Rainier. A mountain in Washington, and my best friend Max Berry passed away from an accidental overdose in 2017, and that was his favorite mountain. And he was a big mountain guy. Like he loved skiing and stuff like that. So me and all his other close friends, we all got the same tattoo. So I want more, but for now it's just kind of friends and family and things that are close to my heart. So this next song is the title track of my album. It's called This Far South. It's kind of, I guess, a precursor to the song that I just played because I wrote Gandalf just a couple weeks ago. But This Far South is, it's a promise that I made to myself when I found myself at rock bottom, and I never wanted to feel like that again or be the person that was down there. And I made a promise to myself that I would never be back there. And that's kind of the gist of my album. It's called This Far South.
Remind me of every single dogwood tree I tried to reach out. I never see you this far south no more. And I can't seem to be any less than all of me, but that won't work out if words can't fall out my mouth no more. An angel, walk me through your garden, won't you please again? Inside my heart in Germantown tonight, I'm learning that it's not good to fly. And I've chosen the habit that I'm dropping, and coming down's exhausting. I think I need some help. Turn me over. If sand could rise when we grow old, then I would try to hold your hand a little slower. walk me through your garden and your trees, but please don't reach out, 'cause I won't be this far south again. The nerves inside my heart in German town tonight, I'm learning that it's not good to fly. And I've chosen the habit that I'm dropping, and coming down's exhausting. I think I deserve some rest.
Coming up next, I have my debut album coming out. I'm very excited about that. I have a lot of tour dates coming up. I'm going to the UK again, Ireland, and touring really all over the United States, and just trying to meet you guys out at the shows, so get your tickets and come see me. Like I said, I've been writing songs for a while, and from my mid-teenage years through my early 20s, and when I was, I think, 23 maybe, 22 or 23, me and Rustin started hanging out a whole bunch, and then a couple years later, my dad passed away, and he came over. I think it was the first Father's Day that was without my dad, and it was like 2 a.m, and I was over at my mom's house, and I just like randomly texted Rustin, and I was like, "Hey man, like, are you up? Like, I can't sleep," and I was just like wondering if you like wanted to come hang out, and like he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm up." So he drove over, and we were just like playing songs, staying up real late, and I played him "This Far South," which I had wrote a couple years prior. And he was like, "Hey, did you write that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Have you ever made a demo of that?" And I was like, "No, I've been in a studio, but I've never recorded anything before." And he's like, "Well, it would be fun to see if we could work together, like just if anything for fun, like let's just try it out." So we went and we did a demo of it, and I had the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. Like, it was the coolest thing I'd ever done. And then he didn't like say anything for like 2 months, and I was like, damn, he probably thought that shit was really bad. And I was like, this is super awkward. And I was like, it was awful. And then he called me out of the blue in November of 2020 with Gina Johnson. They literally like conference called and like called me in, and they were like, "Hey, this is gonna sound crazy, but like you should quit your job and become an artist, and like we'll produce your record, and like we'll just make it happen because we think this is what you should do." And I really like, honestly, like I owe a lot to them just to like, kind of bring me to the space that I needed to be to become who I am now. And they both mean a lot to me. And yeah, it was really kind of wild how it all happened, but it felt right, and it still feels right. So this last song is called "By the Way," and it's about losing my dad in April of 2020. And I was 24 at the time, and losing a parent at any age is tough. It was very difficult for me, and it still is in some ways. I miss him a lot, and I wrote this song just to try and put words to those emotions. So it's called "By the Way."
And I don't want to move the shoes I keep in the back of my car, the ones you got me at 17 when mom thought I moved way too far. And by the way, I wish I stayed and unpacked all of my bags. And all those times I'll always miss are the times that we've never had. Can't Can I breathe all of me into a bottle and throw it in the sea? And by the way, people say I look just like you. And I don't want to think about the excuses that I made, and all those nights I should have just sat down and played spades. But don't keep all that in your heart. Well, son, it'll just drag you down. And even if you fight it or don't like it, the world will keep spinning round. Can I breathe all of me into a bottle and throw it in the sea? And by the way, people say I look just like you. And I don't want to talk about the day that you slipped away. And it's still hard to hear your voice in the songs that we used to sing. Well, I miss you and I love you, and some things can't ever change. And although you're gone, the world moves along. It's a part of you that will remain. Can I breathe all of me into a bottle and throw it in the sea? And by the way, people say I look just like you. By the way, people say I look just like you.
Thanks, y'all. Garden and Gun, thank you so much for having me.